For years, I've had an idea to pay homage to some of my favorite jazz drummers. Drummers that I've loved listening to and who have been very influential to me. With the group Jazz Legacy, we play a combination of original tunes and music that is associated with some of the great jazz drummers, such as Art Blakey, Philly Joe Jones, Elvin Jones, and Tony Williams. When I was looking for material for the band, I chose tunes that I've always enjoyed listening to, and as a drummer, imagined would be a lot of fun to play. I'm going to demonstrate some of the things that I played at the Modern Drummer 2006 festival. John Riley and I are going to discuss the music played at the concert and how studying these drummers have affected and influenced both of us and how we play music. It's a very valuable project, especially for drummers that are interested in learning about these different drummers, learning about some of the concepts and fundamentals of jazz drumming, and beyond that, drummers that are interested in knowing about the history of where all this drumming tradition and history and information comes from. It's the type of information that the drummers from the 60s were very tuned into. And when I say that, I mean, of course, the jazz drummers of the 60s, but also the rock drummers of the 60s. Say like John Bonham and Ginger Baker and Mitch Mitchell and Charlie Watts. And these drummers grew up listening to these great jazz drummers. They grew up listening to Philly Joe Jones and Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, Elvin, and Art Blakey, and so the information in the Drum Legacy DVD is the type of information, in a way, many of those drummers were familiar with that helped them create the drumming that they came up with. That was what I would call some of the fundamental foundation of rock drumming.
Steve, when you're using the molar technique, is there a variation or kind of evolution in the way your grip has developed to facilitate that technique?
One way to describe it on the drum set is if the outside is if I make this motion, let's say from the snare drum to the hi-hat.
Could you demonstrate a couple of the more intricate hand and foot combinations that you played towards the end of the solo? This one like single stroke move between the right hand and the bass drum.
That kind of move, I'd say the person that I first saw do that was Tony Williams. And as it turned out, I mean, there's a good chance he learned that from studying with Alan Dawson, because I studied with Alan Dawson in the early 70s, and that was something that, he probably had all of his students do. He certainly worked on that with me.